Chosen one. Not every love story is meant to be beautiful. Sometimes love becomes twisted, dark, and dangerous. Sometimes what starts as passion turns into obsession. And sometimes the people we think we know, the people we let into our hearts, reveal a side of themselves so horrifying that it shatters everything we believed about love, trust, and humanity. It all began so innocently. When you met him, he seemed perfect, charming, attentive, and utterly devoted. He made you feel like you were the center of the universe, like you were the only thing that mattered. And for a while, you believed it. You believed in the fairy tale he sold you, the idea that his love for you was pure and unshakable. But there were cracks in the facade, weren't there? Little things that didn't sit right. The way he would get jealous so easily, the way his devotion sometimes felt suffocating. And then there was his mother. She didn't like you. From the moment you met her, you could feel her disapproval radiating off her like a storm cloud. It was in the way she looked at you, the way she talked to you, always polite, but always cold. She made it clear, in no uncertain terms, that she didn't think you were good enough for her son, and he hated that. Oh, how he hated it. At first, you thought it was sweet, the way he defended you. He would tell you not to worry about her, that she didn't understand how special you were. He would argue with her, sometimes loudly, whenever she made a snide comment about you. He would tell you that he loved you more than anything, that you were the most important person in his life. But now, looking back, you realize that his devotion wasn't love. It was something else entirely, something dangerous. The arguments between him and his mother grew worse over time. You could hear them shouting at each other through the walls, their voices rising like thunder. He would storm out of the house, his face red with anger, and come to you, seeking comfort. He would tell you how much he hated her, how she was trying to ruin your relationship, how she didn't understand him. "I wish she would just disappear," he said one night, his voice cold and sharp. You thought he was just venting, that he didn't really mean it. But there was something in his eyes, something dark and unsettling, that made your heart skip a beat. You tried to talk to him about it, to ease the tension between him and his mother. You told him that maybe she just needed time to get to know you, that maybe things would get better if you all tried to understand each other. But he shook his head, his jaw clenched. "She'll never accept you," he said. "She'll never stop trying to come between us, but don't worry, I'll take care of it." At the time, you didn't understand what he meant. You thought he was just being dramatic. But now you realize that those words were a warning you didn't heed. It happened on a quiet afternoon. You were at home, going about your day, when you heard the news. His mother had died. The details were scarce, but the police were investigating it as a suspicious death. Your heart sank. Despite her dislike for you, she was still his mother. You couldn't imagine the pain he must be feeling. You called him immediately, but he didn't answer. Hours passed, and you grew more and more anxious. Finally, late that night, he showed up at your door. His clothes were disheveled, his eyes bloodshot, and his hands trembling. But he wasn't crying. He wasn't grieving. Instead, he looked calm, too calm. "She's gone," he said, his voice eerily steady. "She's finally gone." Your stomach churned. There was something wrong, something deeply wrong. You asked him what he meant, and that's when he said it. "I did it for you," he whispered. "She hated you. She was trying to ruin us. I couldn't let her do that, so I got rid of her. For us." The room spun. You couldn't believe what you were hearing. He killed her, his own mother, and he was trying to justify it as an act of love? You backed away from him, your heart pounding in your chest, but he stepped closer, his eyes wide and pleading. "Don't you see?" he said. "I did it all for you, so we could be together, so nothing could come between us." You knew you had to get away. You smiled nervously, pretending to understand, pretending to agree, while your mind raced for a way out. He was unstable, unpredictable, and now you knew he was dangerous. You told him you needed some air, that you needed time to process everything. To your relief, he nodded and let you leave. But as soon as you were out of sight, you called the police. You told them everything, his confession, his demeanor, his threats. They told you to stay where you were, that they were on their way. But you couldn't just sit still. You couldn't shake the feeling that he was watching you, that he knew what you were doing. And you were right. He found you. Somehow, he found you. He showed up at your hiding spot, his face twisted with anger and betrayal. "You called them, didn't you?" he said, his voice low and menacing. "You betrayed me after everything I did for you." You tried to deny it, to calm him down, but he wasn't listening. He grabbed your arm, his grip tight and painful, and dragged you toward his car. "We're leaving," he said. "We're going somewhere they can't find us, somewhere we can start over." You fought him, screamed for help, but there was no one around to hear you. He forced you into the car and sped off, his knuckles white as he gripped the steering wheel. You begged him to stop, to let you go, but he just shook his head. "You don't understand," he said. "I did this for us, all of it, and now we're going to be together, whether you like it or not." What he didn't realize was that the police were already on his trail. They had traced his car, and now they were closing in. You saw the flashing lights in the rearview mirror, heard the sirens growing louder, and felt a surge of hope. But he wasn't going to give up that easily. He stepped on the gas, the car lurching forward as he tried to outrun them. Your heart raced as the car swerved dangerously through traffic, the tires screeching with every turn. The police were relentless, their cars forming a blockade ahead. But he was desperate, and desperation makes people reckless. He turned onto a narrow road, the car bouncing over potholes as he pushed it to its limits. You begged him to stop, to surrender, but he just laughed, a cold, hollow sound that sent chills down your spine. "They'll never take me alive," he said. "I'd rather die than lose you." The chase ended in a blur of flashing lights and chaos. He lost control of the car, and it skidded off the road, crashing into a tree. The impact was jarring, and for a moment, everything went black. When you came to, the police were pulling you from the wreckage. He was unconscious, his body slumped over the steering wheel. They arrested him on the spot, reading him his rights as they dragged him away. He looked at you one last time, his eyes filled with a strange mix of love and hatred. "I did it for you," he said, his voice barely audible. "Don't ever forget that." In the weeks that followed, you tried to make sense of everything. The man you thought you loved had become a stranger. His obsession had destroyed not only his life, but the lives of those around him. And yet, in some twisted way, you felt grateful. Grateful that you survived. Grateful that the universe had intervened. Grateful that you had the strength to walk away. But the scars remain, don't they? The memories, the what-ifs, the questions that will never be answered. You've changed, chosen one, you've grown. And though the darkness tried to consume you, you've emerged stronger, wiser, and more determined to protect your light. Chosen one, as you stand at the edge of this storm, take a moment to reflect on the events that have unfolded. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has shown you something powerful, something undeniable. It has shown you that no matter how chaotic or unfair life may seem at times, there is always justice. There is always balance. The universe is not blind to the actions of those who harm, who deceive, who twist love into something dark and destructive. It sees everything, and it always delivers justice in its own time and way. You may feel anger, confusion, or even guilt for what has happened. You may wonder if there was something you could have done differently, if there was a way to prevent this tragedy. But let me remind you, this was never your burden to carry. The choices he made, the darkness he allowed to consume him, were his alone. The universe ensured that his actions did not go unpunished, that his lies and violence were brought to light. It ensured that justice was served, not just for his mother, but for you as well. This is the way of the universe. It is always watching, always balancing the scales. Those who act with love, kindness, and integrity are rewarded with peace and abundance. Those who harm, manipulate, and destroy are met with the consequences of their actions. And while it may not always happen in the way we expect or on the timeline we desire, justice always arrives. So, chosen one, let this be your comfort. You do not need to carry the weight of anger or the desire for revenge. The universe has already handled it. It has already removed him from your life, ensuring that his darkness can no longer touch your light. Trust in this process. Trust that the universe is fair, that it is always working in your favor, even when it feels like the world is falling apart. But chosen one, as just and fair as the universe may be, it also expects us to learn from the lessons it gives us. And this harrowing experience is one of the most powerful lessons of your life. It is a lesson about trust, about boundaries, and about the importance of listening to your intuition. You gave your heart to someone who didn't deserve it. You trusted someone who hid their true nature behind a mask of love and devotion. And while it's easy to blame yourself for not seeing the signs sooner, remember this: you did the best you could with the knowledge you had at the time. You acted from a place of love, and there is no shame in that. But now you see the world differently. Now you understand that not everyone who claims to love you truly does. Now you know that love is not just about words, it's about actions, about consistency, about respect. This experience, as painful as it was, has given you something invaluable: wisdom. It has taught you to trust your instincts, to pay attention to the red flags, and to never ignore the quiet voice inside you that says, something isn't right. It has taught you that love should never feel like control, like suffocation, like fear. And most importantly, it has taught you that your peace, your light, and your happiness are worth protecting at all costs. As you move forward, you will carry this lesson with you. You will approach relationships with caution, not because you are afraid, but because you are wise. You will no longer allow yourself to be blinded by sweet words or grand gestures. You will demand consistency, integrity, and emotional safety. You will set boundaries so strong that no one will ever be able to cross them again. And in doing so, you will attract the kind of love that is pure, that is honest, that is worthy of the incredible person you are. But chosen one, let me offer you one final piece of advice. Do not let this experience make you bitter. Do not let it close your heart completely. Yes, you must be cautious. Yes, you must protect yourself. But do not let fear rob you of the possibility of love. The universe will send you the right person when the time is right. Someone who will cherish you, respect you, and love you in the way you deserve. Someone who will prove, through their actions, that they are worthy of your trust. When that time comes, you will be ready, not because you are naive, but because you are strong. This story, Chosen One, is not just about him, it's about you. It's about your journey, your growth, your awakening. The universe has shown you what happens when love is twisted into obsession, when devotion becomes control, when someone's darkness is allowed to fester unchecked. It has shown you the importance of protecting your light, of standing firm in your boundaries, and of trusting yourself above all else. But more than that, it has shown you that you are never alone. Even in your darkest moments, the universe is always there, guiding you, protecting you, and ensuring that justice is served. It may not always feel like it. There will be times when life feels unfair, when the weight of the world feels unbearable. But trust me when I say this: the universe is always on your side. It is always working behind the scenes to remove what no longer serves you, to clear your path, and to guide you toward the life you are meant to live. This experience was not a punishment. It was a lesson, a painful, difficult, life-changing lesson. But it was also a gift that has made you stronger, wiser, and more connected to your true self. You are not the same person you were before this happened. You are something more, something greater. This story will stay with you, there's no denying that. It will shape the way you see the world, the way you approach relationships, the way you protect your energy. It will make you more cautious, more discerning, and more aware. And yes, it may make it harder for you to trust others, but that's okay. Trust is something that must be earned, not given freely. And the right people, the people who truly love and respect you, will have no problem earning it. But do not let this story define you. Do not let it become a weight that drags you down. Instead, let it become a source of strength, a reminder of how far you've come and how much you've grown. Let it be a testament to your resilience, your power, and your ability to rise above even the darkest of circumstances. The universe has tested you, chosen one, but you have passed the test. You have emerged from this storm stronger, wiser, and more powerful than ever. And now, it's time to move forward, to leave the past behind and step boldly into the light of your future.